Well, it's Mike Matthews, the host of the longest-running self-produced daily podcast by a guy named Mike in the land of Maritopica at the last place on earth. It is Mike's Daily Podcast, episode 3081, 3081. Tariffs. Where exactly is the money going from the tariffs? How much money has the government made off of tariffs, off of stuff coming in? The terrorists. Is it terrorizing us? I think if you looked at the stock market a couple weeks back, yeah, it was definitely terrorizing the stock market. But Trump is saying, hey, eat it. Eat the tariffs. He has put in the spotlight one of the largest U.S. retailers over whether prices are about to start ticking up because of the sizable tariffs he has unilaterally enacted. This, according to NBC News. As you may have heard, Walmart has indicated consumers will soon have to start paying more because of the tariffs, but the president has sought to aggressively counter those warnings, instead putting the blame for cost increases on U.S. companies and China, which still faces tariffs totaling more than 40% across the board on its exports to the U.S. Trump has said he'll call CEOs, something he's already done with Amazon. He called Jeff Bezos when he caught wind that Amazon might start showing the tariffs, how much the cost is when you buy something on Amazon, how much of a tariff is on there because of what the Trump administration has done. So the standoff between the president and Walmart now looms over the other major retailers. That included Home Depot, which they released it's not affecting them, or they're not going to raise prices, was basically what the earnings call was about. Trump said Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. And that was something I got really, because you just don't know. I mean, you're trusting that local restaurant is raising prices because of inflation and because of the supply chain or whatever other reason they come up with. But they never bring the prices back down. So once they're up, they're up. And as you know, the costs went up like in 2022, shot through the roof at restaurants, and they never came back down. They keep going up and up. It's like, what? $20 for the cheapest thing on the menu? What world are we living in? Well, between Walmart and China, said the president, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. And according to NBC and other media outlets I've heard, this is the first time the president has actually said, wait a minute, I'm hearing the criticism. There's some stuff I can do, but then there's some stuff I can do. He has the pen. He knows he can do all kinds of things. He's been doing all kinds of things. But now he's saying, hey, the whole point is to make stuff here in America, not be so reliant on other countries. That's the weird thing. You know, I hear from a lot of media and a lot of experts, we rely on other countries, but we'll see. I'm hearing people saying we got to go into Café Anyway, so let me get the door. Let's go. Café Anyway, welcome to Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
What an absolute joy it is to be with you here on this podcast called Mike's Daily Podcast. I'm Mike Matthews. We're podcasting from
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Maritopica. It's Mike Matthews, two first names. That's not great news. I'm singing to you because this show requires singing. If you want to take it over, then I would tell you, get in line. Everybody wants this to be in this pot. What is on the back of my hand?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I do not know this. Like, I'm trying to remember something, but I can't remember because I'm looking at the back of my hand.
Daily
and I don't know what that is.
Podcast.
So I don't know it.
Yeah.
It's like it's on the back of my hand. I don't know expressions that we come up with these days. It's just hilarious. Hey, the podcast video is at mikesdailypodcast.com. I'm wearing this really cool shirt that I have had for eons now. And I'm wearing headphones on my head, and the picture, the t-shirt is a bunch of headphones in an artistic sort of way. And I love this t-shirt, and I've had it. Some of you are not even old. You're not older than this shirt, is what I'm saying. So it is quite old, is what I'm saying, this shirt. So I'm saying that. Some of you are young and you've got debt because you're students. Or maybe you're a little bit older and you've got debt. Or maybe you're way older and you've still got student debt. Uncle Sam began collecting defaulted student debt recently for the first time since imposing a COVID-era pause. That was actually back when Trump was president last time, March of 2020. Remember when COVID hit us? Borrowers who have missed payments for more than 270 days will start getting their debt deducted from tax refunds, from their wages, and any government benefits. Their missed payments will be deducted from that. And I know...
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is of myself. Hey, I'm in the podcast picture. Woohoo! And in the beautiful Pacific Ocean. This was a great picture there at Half Moon Bay. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com. The late great Basil the Boxer went to this beach many a time with me. And I would let him go and he would run along. But now I've got my wonderful cat. Maybe he'll make a little cameo on the video. But right now, do you want to get up here? Okay. Oh, late great Basil the Boxer, he wouldn't like that. Okay. Yes, he would say several things like that, for example. But yes, we would take the late great Basil the Boxer to Poplar Beach in Half Moon Bay. And Rocky the cat has gone there as well. Haven't you, Rocky? Yes. So he didn't like it at all. Because he's a cat. Some cats they don't like to be taken somewhere and then they're there and they're like, I want to be at home, someplace that I know, that I've inspected every square inch. And I've put all my scent on everything and I know all the scents. It makes sense. See how that all works? Okay. Among the 42 Americans with federal student loans, there is a record share that have missed payments. It is interesting that we began the pause in student debt back in March of 2020 when we had a Republican president, because I've heard so many Republicans and right-wing talk show hosts totally diss student loan forgiveness like there's no tomorrow. Why should they get away with
this? This is interesting.
Wow, this is interesting.
It is interesting. Over 5 million borrowers are in default. Yes, I said the number million, and that was preceded by the number 5. 5 million borrowers are in default. So that means they are at least 270 days behind on payments. And if that continues, well, the money comes out of their tax refunds, their wages, and their government benefits. The government really doesn't give it unless you work for the government. And unless they do something like fix a bridge that you need to travel over.
You're such a creative soul.
All right. In the Bay Area, I don't know how much funding the Bay Area Rapid Transit gets, but that got shut down today because of a fire. Doesn't look like it was, as of this recording, does not look like it was caused by a homeless person or a gang member or anything like that. Any human person human cause from a person. That's what I'm saying. It looks like it was just some sort of electrical thing that faulty. Like what does BART maintenance do? Oh, they don't have enough money to pay the maintenance workers. We hear this constantly, even though I get charged every time I go through the gate at BART. I know a lot of people that hop. I don't know them personally, but I see them hop the gates, or now if they got the gates.
Oh, yeah.
Those ones that are up to the ceiling that you can't jump over, but they'll wait. They'll even try to push through it. They can't. But they'll see you walk through and then they come scurrying right behind you. So the point is, BART is all messed up and I can't stand it. There's never any good press about BART. There's someone always getting hurt. I was on BART on Friday. coming home Friday evening. And sure enough, there were cops waiting on the BART platform at Bayfair. I'm like, okay, what are they? They were just talking to each other. Suddenly, a BART train going southbound, heading towards San Jose. It stops at the station. They walk in. Out comes a guy who has he's the victim. He's not the perpetrator.
Right? Good.
Yeah, and he's showing his injuries. I didn't see the injuries. I was standing quite a ways away, but the cop was taking pictures of him to show to document the injuries that this guy had. It's terrible. Why? And then I get on another, so I'm getting on not that train. There was another train going a different direction towards Dublin, towards Podcastro Valley, and I get on that train, and there are two people, the three. They're part of a team. They're part of a, I guess they call it the BART situation team, something like that. Anyway, Café Anyways. We go outside of Café Anyway somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Meritopia. And I'm stopping the video right now because my phone's about to die. So, and in fact, these three team members of whatever they were for, I forget, something to do with helping people out on BART that need it. I thanked them when I was getting off of BART. I waved to them. They saw me and I said, thank you. And they smiled. And, they weren't smiling at all the whole time. It looks like a really tough job that they got to do. Well, they don't got to do it, but they that's the job they've...
It's pretty interesting.
That interesting job that they've chosen. Hang on, getting the cat. Okay. He's making it... He's wrapped up in my headphone cable. Up you go. There you go, Rocky. Gosh, why are you so evasive? And I heard them say, as we were pulling out of that BART station where the victim was, they go, oh, wow, there's the victim. So they knew. But while I was on the train, I heard one of the members, one of the crew, they weren't eating, you can't eat on BART. You're not supposed to anyway. I see people eating chowder all the time. Not necessarily chowder, but the guy, I hear him on the phone talking to somebody who I guess was referred to him. And he goes, yeah, do you need help? Do you need shelter? Have you consulted with the Bay Area Rescue Mission? And I mentioned them because at my work, we've done a lot of work with them. But he was naming off a couple other shelters. And yeah, he's trying to help them out on the phone. So they're hardworking people. The whole BART system
And the Oscar goes to...
does not deserve an Oscar to them. They don't deserve any awards, but the people working hard on trying to keep it running smoothly, those are the ones I applaud. Wow. I don't know where we're talking about student debt too. 4 million people are in late stage delinquency. That is 90 days behind, 90 plus days. So 5,270 days behind on their payments. 4 million are in late stage delinquency, which is 90 days behind. And only a third of Americans with federal loans, only a third, have been making regular payments during the pause.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. You think about that.
That means people are getting their revenge on the government. That means the other 2/3 are people that are like, hey, I'm going to take advantage of the government, which says a lot about our society, which shakes me to the core, makes me so awfully negative. And I don't mean to get negative on this show, but dang, that just disgusts me, taking advantage. So now, not going to take advantage anymore. Look who's outside a Café Anyway to change this all around and make us happy and to make it so we're not so dang sad about things. Hello, Chris. It's Chely Shoehart, kitchen supervisor. Wow, you got all negative and sad and you were really sad, Mike. All right. That's right. I need to be a little more positive like that guy and go, all right. It's all right. That's right, Mike Matthew. In fact, my wonderful spray cans that are controlled by AI so that if you try to spray paint somebody else's property, they immediately launch into outer space and notify aliens on another planet that there are people here that are trying to invade at someone else's property. That's in the works, and it's turning really well, Mike Matthew. You might say it's in the can. The spray paint can, Mike Matthew. I have absolutely no idea what you're saying. You're kind of like ranting like an Elon Musk. I don't know where it's all going, what it's all...
Mike, you want to join in on this conversation? You can join
I
in.
would if I knew what it was about. Thank you for asking. Look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, you need to calm down a little bit. No. I'm not going to calm down. I'm listening to NPR on my way into work because I couldn't take part because of the aforementioned situation where there was a fire that happened in San Leandro and no trains could run and Bart's messed up. And I'm driving into work. I'm listening to some NPR report from NPR because they're NPR. And NPR is so NPR these days because they know they're on the ropes. It's going to be very difficult for them to emerge back into the sunlight, to make it through this administration, I should say. But oh my gosh, I'm listening to one story they played over and over again.
Live and loco.
It was definitely live and loco, not local, but loco, about how, if you have a vegan diet, a strict vegan diet, you'll get enough protein. Okay, thanks. Is that because 90% of your listeners are vegans? What? Why are you telling us that? Okay. You've immediately put anybody who thinks the vegan diet or have attempted the vegan diet and cannot, because you got to be really disciplined to do it, and have failed, you've just excluded them. So thanks so much. But the other thing they were discussing was what, Rocky? What? You're trying to disappear? I don't know. It was some other thing that ruffled my feathers. What? Rocky, don't attack me because I was mentioning feathers. Oh, no. What is that on the back of my hand? A feather? Am I turning into a bird? I guess the bird is the word, and I got to end the show. That's a ridiculous random post for you. Okay, with all the other things that we have, you can call me and add things to all the other things. And here's the phone number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640. Will you shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for all.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. Thank you so much for listening. Yay! Be positive. That's the only thing in life you should try to be. Because negative is a pain. That's not going to fit on a bumper sticker.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!